Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Before I jump in today's NVIDIA, I just need to remind you one more time. Actually, I'll probably be reminding you every single day of this week that starting next Monday, December 8th, NVIDIA will be moved over to our wickedstocks.com subscription platform, where it joins a suite of other analytical videos that we put out every single day, every single week. Daily Triple Q, daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock analysis, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and also 2 individual stock picks a week. We've done quite well in 25 with our stock picks. I don't want to take a deep dive into that, but just so you know, if you're looking for NVIDIA starting next week, you'll find it at wickedstocks.com, where we also, by the way, offer a 5-day free trial if you've yet to take us up on that offer. Let's take a look at the chart, starting with the weekly chart. Sell signal below 190.09. Yes, but the way I would frame this now, with where we are right now, last week we put out a pullback low. We're now higher on the week. We've pushed above last week's high. I'm not calling this bullish, but what I am saying is we're in this two-sided framework where any rallies into the low 190s should be considered sell opportunities, anticipating then bearish rotation following a test of the low 190s back into what is now the low 160s and climbing. So to say that I expect 162.15, I do think you certainly should allow for it, and I do think the market is prone to falling into that. But the way things have kind of reversed is too strong of a word. The fact that we're just higher, that we've forged higher territory, that we've got this sort of higher high, higher low dynamic playing out on the daily chart. I don't want to read too much into that. I do say that the low 190s remain our prime resistance as we move through the rest of December. And we also have this kind of descending channel top that is now at 194.05. So it really is a range of resistance that is narrowing daily because, the channel bottoms are not climbing as significantly as fast. 190.05, 190.09, weekly chart, daily chart combination. And then you have this descending channel top at 194.95. This will all converge over the next 3 or 4 days. And it is our zone of resistance, as I say, that can contain buying through the rest of December, and from here we can fall back into, the weekly chart is at what is the weekly chart? Here's the daily chart at 162.72. We now have a descending channel bottom that is below all that in the upper 150. So this is still the zone. Okay, I think I've said it. So let's continue with the downside today. I've got 174.13. I don't know if we'll see that or not. There's no clear indication of that. We did put out a new pullback high following last week's low, and we gave back most of our strength, but we can recover that quite easily on Wednesday. But 174.13, if tested, can contain daily selling pressures, possibly even through the rest of the week. We could round up from here. That higher high, higher low dynamic that I mentioned a moment ago remains clearly intact above 174.13. So this may contain more than just a day. You could consider it a 3 to 5 day swing trade where, if tested, you could buy into 174.13 into next week. And from here, within 3 to 5 days of testing it, you could see this channel top is going to be in the low 190s anyway. So a lot going on there. Following a test of 174.13, we could quite easily round up by the end of next week into the low 190s. If we close below 174.13, that is a sell signal opportunity, 3 to 5 day swing trade to the downside, where I would then anticipate not necessarily 158.86, although that is possible. 162.72, I think, is the level that we're looking for. 162.72 is on the daily chart. What we find on the weekly chart at 162.15, and we're back to this chart again, where you're selling the low 190s, buying the low 160s. The question is whether we're going to reach into the low 190s or not. I don't have a clear-cut indication of that, but I will say holding above 174.13 will keep the low 190s in reach by the end of next week. And if we close below 174.13, then we're indeed anticipating this 162.15 formation within another 3 to 5 days. At 162.15, we can bottom out through not only the rest of December, but even into the first quarter. We can round up from here into the 219 to 229 region within 2 to 3 months of testing 162.15. If over the next few weeks we close below 162.15 on a weekly basis, then we've got more downside where that came from. 120.82, a 2 to 3 month objective following a settlement below 162.15, but not until then. I'm not expecting 120.82 unless we close below 162.15. For the upside, it is 190.09, as I say, in combination with this descending channel top now at 194.95. We're not going to see this area today, I don't think, but we could see it over the next few days. It is narrowing gradually. This 194.95 is dropping. 190.09 is actually climbing. This area will all converge in the very low 190s over the next few days and does represent our ceiling of resistance that may well contain buying through the rest of December, and below which the low 160s remain a 2 to 3 week target. If we were to close above 194.95 over the next week or so, that is an indication of a good December low, with the following 2 to 3 weeks likely to push into this 214.49 area, where it really becomes the start of a wide zone up to 229 even that may well absorb buying pressures through the first quarter itself. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We did put out a stock pick on Tuesday, but I already forget exactly what it was. So I don't know why I forget these things when I'm live recording, but I do. So there you have it. Anyway, also a reminder that NVIDIA goes to wickedstocks.com next Monday, and I hope you join us and continue receiving excellent analysis that we love to provide. That's all I have for Wednesday's NVIDIA report. You have a great evening.